god, it's so serious. In a minute. This is your girl SHEJACKIESAYS, and you're all welcome back to the SJS vlog, where we talk about fashion, lifestyle, and entertainment.
FJ.
So today,
with the strength of a woman, SHEJACKIESAYS. With the power of a woman, SHEJACKIESAYS. Everywhere she goes.
what's up fam, it's been a minute. I took you all traveling through Ghana. Today my friends and I visited an abandoned fort in Ghana with quite an interesting history. So this fort is located in a town along the Cape Coast route, a town called Abanze. Now my friends wanted to do a project there and they called me to join them to help them with the videos. But to my ultimate surprise, this place is a place worth vlogging on and telling you more about the place. So we were driving from Winneba to Abanze, which is probably approximately an hour to the location. So this is the location to where the fort is. It was up, so we had to climb up these stairs to get to where Fort Amsterdam is. So as you can see, it was just over there in front of us. Hello, good morning. Now, this was just an entry to the fort, but I was just liking the view that I was seeing, because right up here you could see the whole town beneath you, the whole town, and the view was very spectacular. So this is the entrance into the Fort Amsterdam, as we entered to take a whole look at the place. So as I told you guys initially, this fort has been abandoned for a very long time. Now, Fort Amsterdam, a World Heritage Site and much different from the fort that we see around, especially in Ghana. It is the only fort in Ghana that was initially established to be a fort for merchandise selling, mainly for merchandise that was for buying and selling. But it was later used as a slave fort in the town called Abanze, which simply means in English it is for the government. So Abanze, Aban, which is the government's, ze like you, so simply meaning Abanze. So this was one of the slave rooms where these Dutch people kept the slaves. Now this particular space, as we see, the building was demolished, not really demolished because it's an old building. It hasn't been restructured or nothing has been done. So over there was a slavery room. Then upstairs we realized there was a church. So the Dutch would have their church on top and the slaves would be beneath them. Now climbing up, we could also see the town very, very clearly, and all these spaces were where most of the colonial masters and the Dutch people used to sit at night. So over there where I was heading was where the guards used to keep watch, and this is a peephole where before anyone comes knocking on the door, they peep over there to look at who was there even before the gate is open for the person. said earlier, this is where in the evenings the guards would be here to have fun, and during daytime they would be here to keep watch to see oncoming sailors. So if there's any threat coming from afar, they would be the first one to see as they stood here to watch. And as you guys can see, the view here was spectacular. You could see the ocean very clearly, beautifully situated over there. Now, the most amazing part is the view that this fort was given. It was given an amazing view. As you could see, the Atlantic Ocean beautifully situated here. Now, this was the outside view when you stood outside the fort itself. So standing from down here, which was just above the shores, you could see a lot of boats, fishing boats. You could see them over down there. So if you've ever been to Central Region, you know that a lot of the occupation of most people here is fishing, especially for the indigenous who stay over here. So you could see a lot of fishermen over down there trying to mend their nets. Others were also trying to prepare themselves as they go fish. And sitting here for some time was just breathtaking. Now, as to why this fort has been abandoned for such a long time is the question which was on my mind as we got here, because this is a historical site. This is a place where most of our ancestors were. Now, this is a slavery room. This is also known as a dungeon during those times. As I took you guys earlier, all these places were slave yards, and I know these places can't be touched because it probably ruins the authenticity of it and how original it makes it to be. But this is a place that has been left. Even though there is a caretaker, he is the one doing everything. So we came out here. This is the view from the top, as we saw earlier. That is the view of the Atlantic Ocean. So you decided to come out here to have an actual feel of it. Now, looking at this place, there's a lot of things that could be done, especially at these places. When visitors come, stuff could be also sold. Because when you get to this place, there is nothing, like guys, there's nothing over here apart from the beautiful edifice that we see here that tells a story, which has an amazing story to it. And apart from that, nothing.
Like, it gives you this feeling. What's that? No, like I said, my main dream. That's the whole. It's not made. We are Hannah. That's for better now.
Now, this was one of the rooms where about 100 prisoners were kept. Now, this place has no air passing through except for that aspect. Now, even that wasn't there. The caretaker said that this is something that was created recently. So when you stood here, you can't even breathe. I was here and I couldn't breathe. I just wanted to be there to have a feel of it. So there was nothing. They kept about 100 prisoners in here. So imagine if you enter this place, there's no survival for you, no air, no food, nothing. And this is where our ancestors were being kept. This is also another place where also we have the female prisoners being kept. Now, they were kept in these rooms. These are also dungeons. Now, for the female prisoners, they did them the courtesy of getting them just one airway, as you could see on top there. So this is where about 100 of them were kept. Now, I learned initially when you come here, you could see the blood and everything in here because the women were menstruating and they were all being kept here together. Some of them, the guards would be sleeping with them and all that. So this is where they were all kept, guys. The stench in there, you can't even breathe. Trust me, once you're in here, you can't breathe. So I'm imagining how they were able to survive because I'm not sure someone can be in here and survive up to 10 days. It's not possible. All these rooms were believed to be places where the governor, the commander used to stay. They have their kitchen and everything over there. The kitchen has been destroyed it's been a very long time, so there hasn't been any proper renovating of the buildings. But as I said, do you think that the government needs to renovate this building? Because once it's being touched, it loses its ancientness. But I believe that there's a lot of things that could be done to this ancient fort. Now, that is all there is to know about Fort Amsterdam, but there's a lot more. When you search online, there is a lot more to this place. As I said, it is the first slave trade fort that was built, but initially it wasn't built for slavery. It was initially built for trading by the British. Then the Dutch took over to make it a slavery hub, and our forefathers, our ancestors went through a lot in this building, which hasn't been touched. So thank you guys for watching today's video. Stay your girl, SHEJACKIESAYS, your hostess with the mustard, bringing you the hottest, the juiciest, then I am out. Peace, guys.
With the strength of a woman, SHEJACKIESAYS. With the power of a woman, SHEJACKIESAYS. Everywhere she goes, every day.